Hello and welcome, Light Steppers. It's day three of social media week, and today I wanted to take the time to dive into a topic that I think is going to become more and more of an issue in society. But I'm going to show you guys how to utilize that issue for your own benefit. So I'm talking about doom scrolling. What's doom scrolling? Why do we do it? How to use it to your benefit, and also how to tap into its power. Before we do that, I want to make sure that we go over our guiding principles so that we know where we stand on. So we fill our cups first by honoring our physical, mental, and spiritual health through self-mastery, movement, nutrition, community, and personal development. You're muted, my boy.
My bad, my bad. We
Muted.
model behaviors, habits, and attitudes that demonstrate excellence.
By developing individuals, we strengthen families that elevate communities.
We believe that integrity, love, and principles are the foundation of both a great business and family.
We are committed to creating generational health and wealth for our community and beyond.
We continually expand our organization by providing the most effective and highest quality products and services available.
Everything rises and falls on leadership. The measure of an effective leader is not how many serve them, it is how many people they can serve. Magnificent, super simple. It's gonna be a fun one today. I think that this is gonna be really important. I imagine I'm probably gonna be charging people for this training in the future. So I'm actually gonna use some of this for a training that I'm doing in a couple of weeks for a line of clinics that I'm gonna be working with in California. So tap in. But we're gonna be talking about the dangers and benefits of doom scrolling. Um, my definition of doom scrolling is scrolling social media mindlessly without intention. That's how I describe it. To me, that means not having a specific intention to jump in and just allowing social media to guide me through the process. Instead of me guiding, like deciding where I go on social media. So the problem with doom scrolling, first of all, it can do two things. First of all, take away all of your dopamine, meaning all of your feel-good chemicals. The problem with that is that when you use up all your feel-good chemicals, especially dopamine, with your phone and doom scrolling, and they have a department for that, for dopamine, to teach you to keep you engaged in the app. Like they literally pay billions of dollars to keep you engaged. So don't feel bad if you feel stuck or if you're feeling like, oh, I'm doom scrolling again. They're spending billions to get your attention, so it's okay. But they can 100% be a deterrent to the growth of your business in that, first of all, it can take away your dopamine. So what that means is that everything else in the world is not fun. Anything else in the world is not enjoyable. You eat food, it tastes like crap. You go in nature, it's like meh. You watch a movie, that's movie. Nothing really feels good. So when you're doom scrolling all day, especially, like, this is something that I've found out the more that I've coached people, and I ask this all the time. What's the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning? I would say 95 to 98% of people that I've spoken to tell me I roll over and I check my phone. First thing they do. And I'm like, what do you do on your phone? I scroll on social media for a little bit. Most people, regardless of age, it's the first thing that they do. And again, the problem with that is that you're depleting, like you slept for 8 hours to build up all these feel-good chemicals, and then the first thing you do the first 50 minutes of your day is to deplete them by going on social media. Don't play with yourself like that. And again, don't feel bad. Like, don't feel bad about this. Like, I want you guys watching this to understand that this is low-key expected. Like, you should not be surprised this is happening. Like, they make it really easy for you, and we're all sleep or at least majority of us sleep with our phones next to your bed. Um, but doom scrolling can be really helpful as well. I mean, and then another thing that doom scrolling does is take away your time. Like, I didn't realize like how much time I had till I actually created my schedule. Then like once I created my schedule, I was like, okay, so I have all this time. Where is all that time going? Like, why am I not doing things? Like I started taking a step back and I'm like, where's that time going? And I realized that a lot of my time was going into doom scrolling, whether that was on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. And I was like, I'm spending this many hours every week doom scrolling. So I made a decision like I'm only gonna doom scroll intentionally. What that means is that I allow myself to do it. Like I know that it feels good, so I honor that. Like I know that my body literally seeks it. I just don't allow that to take over my life or go over my work. So but if let's say that I have and we talked about this in earlier trainings, like let's say that I really want to go doom scroll for a little bit. Like I've been working all day. Um, I utilize that as motivation. And in a past reading that we did for mindset, I know that I talked to you guys about the first den effect, like the grandma's law, like where first do some work and then reward yourself with some doom scrolling, reward yourself with some Netflix, some candy, whatever it is that you like, whatever it is that you're seeking. But I don't think I was it's clear enough on how powerful that is. That it doesn't necessarily have to be you completing like 3 hours of work. Like the reward system works even if you're simply rewarding sitting at work for to do your work. Like literally, I'm telling you, like if I really don't feel like doing my recharge for the day or preparing for a training or whatever that might be, I'm like, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I know that instead of me getting so focused on all the work that I'm gonna do, I'm like, okay, the next thing that I need to do is just go and sit down in front of the computer. And as soon as I sit down, I just let myself scroll for a little bit. And I know it sounds crazy. I literally study performance psychology for a living. And I'm telling you, like, just allowing yourself that time to just like, hey, you reward yourself. It makes the sitting down to do the work a lot more rewarding, and it makes it easier for you to sit back down and do work the next time. So utilize, know that doom scrolling feels amazing. That it's probably one of the best feeling things that you're gonna be doing throughout your day, and something that I like to call it. You have a dopamine button. Like you have a phone, and every time you press it, you release dopamine in your brain. What other thing in life does that for you? Food doesn't do it because sometimes food is okay. Sex doesn't do it because sometimes sex is alright. The same thing. And like, but with this, like the more that you scroll, the more dopamine you're gonna release. So understand that doom scrolling, yes, can be detrimental and ruin your progress in life and in business, but it can also be an absolute helpful tool that you can utilize to get you going. And know that like, hey, like you can use that for working out, for your business, for studying. You can utilize this as a tool to get you to do the things that you don't want to do, and then reward yourself with something that's literally free. Like you're paying your phone bill and stuff, but it's literally free. You can do scroll all day. So you can utilize that for your advantage. And also understand because it's social media week that the content that you're making will also probably become part of someone's doom scrolling. So like keep that in mind. Learn what works from when you do doom scroll. Be intentional about it so that you know, okay, so this kind of hooks works, this thumbnail works, like and then use that so that you can actually tap into that doom scrolling like mindset of someone and get them out. So personally, I like to think about it this way: like social media is filled with crap. I want to be the light in there. Like I know that people are scrolling to about 20 posts every time they doom scroll. If I'm one of those 20 and 19 are crap, that's a win for me. That's a win for me. That's the intention. So doom scrolling is, again, it can be helpful, but if you're the consumer and if you're not producing and creating anything, it can take over your life and it can ruin your life at the same time. And I think that a lot of people are gonna get into a lot of big trouble because they don't have a handle on doom scrolling, and doom scrolling takes over their life. So I'm giving you guys this training because I want you guys to understand that doom scrolling can be your superpower instead of taking everything from you. It can be something that you utilize to push you and propel you to the next level instead of keeping you stuck where you are, and stopping you from getting to the next level that you want to reach. So don't fear doom scrolling. Just be mindful of it. Be aware. Like I catch myself still. I do it. Like I be, if you're waiting in line, what do you do? Doom scroll. And like that's cool. But are you mindful of it? Do you intentionally do it or are you reacting? So I make sure that and a lot of the time, like if I'm doom scrolling, I'm like being mindful is probably better for me. So instead of me taking the time to like doom scroll while I'm sitting in this line, why don't I just put my phone away and just look around me and take in the moment? And that's a lot more helpful for me. So understand that doom scrolling can help you. Uh, but it requires you to be intentional and work really hard against your own body and mind to actually be able to gain control of it again. Because right now, most people, their lives are taken over by social media, and they have absolutely no control on when they can stop, when they can start. So, but I want to create this training to let you guys know that you can 100% control it and you can use it for your own benefit. And then you can teach other people to do the same because a lot of people are just living in social media. and they hate their lives. I know because I talk to them. Well, I know for a fact. But most of the people that are doing really well on social media, you talk to them, they're not doom scrolling. They're creating. It's a difference between being a creator and a consumer. When you're a consumer, you're gonna just feel drained because you're not adding any value to society. So you feel like crap. I want you guys to understand that you can 100% just create. And there's a really good book called Prosumer. It's all about, being both, like making sure that yeah, we all consume and that's okay, but making sure that you're mostly producing instead of just consuming, because otherwise you eventually get to a point where you're in the negatives and then nobody wins then. Um, 2 minutes passed. But that's the main thing that I wanted to share with you guys. I want you guys to understand how powerful doom scrolling is, and I want you guys to look at it differently because to me, understanding what I just shared with you guys really changed the way that I approach social media. And now, even when I'm doing my reach outs, I don't get lost. Before, I would start messaging people and I would like waiting for someone to reply, I would start scrolling. I don't do that anymore because that I'm doing two things at the same time. Am I messaging people or am I doing scrolling? That's why I'm talking about being mindful. Like be aware of when you're doing it, and that's all that matters. Like just be aware and don't feel like, oh, I'm a horrible person. You're like, oh, I'm just doing this right now. Is this what I really want to do, or do I want to do something that's more in alignment with my values? But that's about it. Was that clear? Chad, I know I have you in the call. Was that clear? Did that help in any way?
Definitely.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, yeah, I mean that's about it. That's the main thing that I wanted to touch on today. There's not gonna be a mastermind today because I know I give you guys a lot of homework this week and last week, so I want you guys to go back and do that work. Tomorrow we have Troy Casey on the call, of course, so it's gonna be a really fun one. And yeah, like make sure you prepare, make sure we're on time, and we're gonna be streaming this one as well. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm excited. Stay blessed. It's all love.